panel session with the Undersecretary of Environment of Ecuador and other panelists, sharing their lessons and good practices to show the pathway for a just transition. Colleagues, dear friends, distinguished panelists, and our ministers that are here with us, welcome to this session. I'll now hand over to my sister and feminist, Sasha Govison, to continue from there.
Thank you very much, Priscilla, my dear sister. Welcome everybody to the 6th edition of the Gender Just Climate Solutions Award. It has been a big struggle to bring you all here and to make sure everybody who was going to receive an award would get the visa they needed, but you are all here. It is amazing, and we are very proud to present to you today these projects, which really can show how gender-just climate projects bring benefits for the climate, for the communities, for social justice, and can help increase ambitions of NDCs. So, we had 157 applications again this year, and it was extremely difficult to choose only 3 winning projects. Therefore, we have added a 4th mention of honor. So we will have 4 award winners today. We have given awards 1 winner for each one of the categories. We have first the technical solution category, where we look at technical innovation by women leaders. Then we have the non-technical solution category, where we will have 1 winner and 1 mention of honor. And we will have the transformational category, where we have also 1 winner. And these solutions have been chosen after long deliberations based on the criteria of the Gender Just Climate Solution Award, which go a bit further than the ones you might know, which might apply to other climate funding, such as the gender markers. These criteria really look at not adding additional burden to the care work women are already doing, making sure it really empowers the women locally, making sure we really defend women's rights and their equal participation in decision-making, and then really a lot of environmental and sustainability criteria, making sure that these are solutions which can be brought forward locally and which show the interlinkages between women's rights, sexual and reproductive rights and health, climate protection, water protection, and biodiversity. And I have to thank, next slide, the jury, which spent many hours reading all the applications, and some of them are here. So thank you to Michi of Femnet, who is here, and to John Baki from Web, who is here, and Peg Spitzner, who is here, and Carina Larsen, who is here, and many others who could not be with us today. So many thanks to our jury. Now we will go to the introduction. So I have the great honor to ask Ms. Azer, the Deputy Executive Director of UN Women, to take the podium behind the pult and to give her introductory remarks.
Thank you so much, Sasha. Thank you, everybody, for having me. And I am so humbled and honored to have this role today. I literally landed 3 hours ago from New York, and I'm a bit jet-lagged, but I certainly wanted to be here today with you. And first of all, I want to obviously, from the bottom of my heart, congratulate the winners and runners-up of this year's Gender Just Climate Solution Awards. I would like to acknowledge all of you, all of those who applied for consideration. Your work certainly offers inspiring and very important models of gender-responsive and transformative climate action that delivers social and environmental benefits in local communities and at scale. So it's a pleasure and an honor it's a pleasure to honor the contribution of women, courageous women and girls, in the fight against climate change, and those who highlight the impacts on the lives of women and girls. Their or your voices, demands, analysis, agency, and leadership are extremely important and much needed, but we all know it is also under-supported, under-resourced, shrinking space. We all know what that means for grassroots organizations in the world today. Also often undervalued and under-recognized. And sometimes it is very dangerous to work with women's and girls' rights combined with climate change action. Efficient, community-driven and inclusive solutions should not be overlooked by decision makers. It's really important. These local success stories must be scaled up, replicated and taken into account in national and international climate change policies. And you and women that I represent, we can have a role in that, and that's one of the reasons we really want to engage and learn from you. In our daily work at UN Women, we have work in 80 countries around, or activities, programs, or full-fledged offices in 80 countries in the world. And we certainly engage on a daily basis with women all over the planet who feel, live the impact of climate change in their daily lives. This can be in agriculture, this can be in relation to armed conflict, within food security issues, can be in the Sahel, in the Pacific, in the Amazon, all over the world. It's a very present issue for many women that we work with, and thus also for us. We must serve the women in relation to the needs that they have. So I would also, of course, like to thank the organizers for observing these very important efforts and for your support so that we can together scale up when necessary. I represent UN Women, and many of you might know that 26 years ago there was the Beijing conference, and an important document was decided upon called the Beijing Platform for Action. But since then, during these 26 years, we have not seen a single country that has actually reached gender equality. In that document, there is not a section about climate change, but about environment, although it is not the most prominent part of that document. Anyway, this is really distressing, and we know that COVID-19 has not exactly helped the situation. It has really exacerbated instead inequalities. This is true, unfortunately, when it comes to gender-based violence, when it comes to unpaid care burden and domestic work, which falls on women and girls' shoulders unproportionately. It is also true when it comes to economic and legal insecurity. And this, combined with the heightened climate crisis, makes lives very difficult for women in big parts of the world. The most impactful lesson of the pandemic is that global crises require collective action. That's why we're here. One intent from UN Women's side to collect these efforts is through the so-called Generation Equality Initiative, under which there is an action coalition on feminist action for climate justice. And this is all for a gender-just, effective and transformative world when it comes to climate solutions. And many of you, not least Sasha personally, and many of you have contributed to the work, the ideas, the initiatives, and the claims in this action coalition. And I would like to encourage all of you to work with us on this. One example of this collective approach is a commitment launched under the Action Coalition by the Global Green Grants Fund and the Global Alliance for Green and Gender Action to mobilize $100 million over the next 5 years for exactly feminist climate action, which is driven by women, girls, and non-binary people, particularly from the Global South and grassroots organizations, which contribute to climate mitigation and adaptation. And we invite all stakeholders to support this work and also to make commitments in relation to the blueprint of actions that we all decided upon and worked on. So let's keep the momentum going. We need to see your leadership. We need to hear your claims, your inspiring voices and demands, because we also have in March the next Commission on the Status of Women, which is a yearly, actually the UN's second biggest meeting, which is dedicated to women's rights and gender equality. And the topic this year, as many of you know, is climate change, environmental and disaster risk reduction, and policies and programs in relation to that. And we hope that we all together can help ensure an ambitious outcome at CSW. In the negotiations, obviously it is the member states that should be held accountable, but as grassroots organizations, women leaders in the field of climate action, we hope that we can together push those governments to do what is needed. We need activisms. So also with our concerted efforts, we can aspire for a scaled-up implementation of the Gender Action Plan adopted at last year's COP, or the COP25 in Madrid, and to work for a more ambitious and well-resourced gender plan of action going forward. So we have a lot to do, but also a lot of stations on the way where we can work together, and I'm extremely grateful to be here today, and again, congratulations to all the winners for your hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words and for the support that you are giving to this event, which is very much appreciated. I would like to call on Dr. Rose Malbazo, Director of CTCN, who is ably represented by Karina Larsen, Head of Global Operations of CTCN, to give her 5 minutes talk.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you. This is always my favorite event at the COP. I look forward to it. And unfortunately, Rose Malbazo, our director of the CTCN, was not able to join us today because she's delayed in the negotiations at the moment. But my name is Karina Larsen, and I'm the Global Operations Manager for the CTCN. And today I have the honor to present the award in the category of technical solutions. At the CTCN, the Climate Technology Center and Network, we are the implementation arm of the technology mechanism, and we really aim to increase access to technologies and capacity building so that we can build energy efficient, low carbon, and climate resilient societies in over 100 countries around the world. By combining current technology solutions, traditional knowledge, and digital technologies, we really aim to help countries to implement their nationally determined contributions, and most importantly, make a just transition to green and resilient economies and societies. Through the CTCN's Gender Policy and Action Plan, we engage on many fronts, delivering technical assistance, capacity building, creating global networks, and sharing knowledge, including through our online Gender Hub. Our collaboration with the Women and Gender constituency, we feel, is incredibly important. And this includes our support for the Gender Just Climate Solutions Awards and Workshop. Together, we support and highlight examples of effective climate change action, which places women in positions of leadership and provides them with the knowledge and skills and networks to effect positive change. We are grateful for your partnership and guidance. So the project which I will share with you today demonstrates the importance of making technology and technical skills available to all. Since 2018, the organization that has been selected has provided theoretical and practical trainings to over 200 women refugees in Turkey. Women learn to produce and sell their own solar batteries, And an added value of the project is that the solar batteries provide all at the refugee camp access to other technologies. The project is also currently being upscaled by offering training of trainer sessions. So what makes this project gender just? First, the newly acquired technical skills and knowledge enables women in the refugee camps to be able to get jobs with solar enterprises in Turkey. This leads to financial security, among other things, and the project takes into consideration women's family responsibilities by, for example, providing childcare, including education and language courses to refugee children. I am therefore so pleased to announce the winner of the Technical Solutions category and ask you to give a big round of applause for Ms. Lucy Gamand-Ruiz from the organization IMECE.
Power to the winners.
First you get a prize.
The winner gets the power. You feel it. Gender. Justice.
And this one?
This one?
Oh no, this is not yours.
Oh, this is mine. I would also ask you to, if you'd like to make some remarks. Please. Yeah?
Je vais parler en français. J'espère que ça vous conviendra à tous. Donc un grand merci. Merci vraiment pour
this prize. We're very touched. I would like to remind CTCN and WECF for your support. Also, a big thank you to the NGCFP team who works on the ground every day. And also, I would have liked to think about the refugee women and children in Izmir and everywhere else around the world who show what resilience and dignity mean every day. Because you know very well, all displaced people are those which are the most impacted by climate change and the political decisions that are taken during the COP. I'm very touched by this, sorry. And this prize for us is a recognition of the work done and also of the situation and the fact that there are local solutions, sustainable solutions that need to be supported. So thank you very much.
Donc, merci beaucoup, cher ministre, honorable ministre.
Dear Minister Abdul Karim Sahel, to be here with us because you are the next to give a prize to hand the prize to one of our winners. No, excuse me. No. Please come to the podium and make your declaration because you are the next prize to be presented. So, if you have a short introduction, then we will ask our colleagues to accept the prize on your behalf.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. I am very honored to take part in this ceremony of prizes of solutions of climate, first to gender. It's gender justice climate solutions. It's an honor made to Senegal. This prize that allows to acknowledge women for their engagement in favor of the fight against climate change is a major innovation that we need to support and congratulate. This is why I wish to take this occasion to congratulate Judo and Exprime and the support of Senegal to this beautiful initiative. As you well know, the women, through their confirmation, through social and economic development of our countries, constitute a source of solutions facing in front of climate change. They represent 43% of the agricultural labor, a key sector for the social and economic sector, but very much impacted by climate change. This example shows the importance to include women in the strategy to fight climate change. The experience in many countries has shown that women are agents of change, extremely important agents of change, especially through their role of educators, and they're also responsible in our choices, production and consumption choices. As Heden just showed it, only women are at the front lines of innovative techniques in agriculture to respond to crisis situations, to take decisions and run their homes. They are capable to adapt in a very intelligent manner with their traditional knowledge in many domains like agriculture, the management of natural resources, energy conservation, and food conservation. I have the honor to present you the winner of the Gender Justice Climate Solutions on the category of non-technical solutions. Since 2016, this program supports indigenous women from Guatemala to improve nutrition and improve local ecosystems. These activities also allow to preserve the traditional knowledge with the support of academia researchers. 5 women of 4 villages have been trained to animal farming, with worm farming, guaranteeing a source of sustainable and cheap protein. They managed to ensure food security for the local communities. The initiative has also developed a training program for teachers, thanks to which the participants become ambassadors of flower worms, thanks to this learning system. The project has been replicated in 3 departments of Guatemala. Along these activities, a catalog groups the local food resources, and it includes recommendations, dietary recommendations, and it makes it possible to preserve indigenous knowledge. It is distributed in the Maya language and will be used to transmit a traditional knowledge to children in the local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to applaud the winner of the non-technical category of Mrs. Andrea Masson from the organization Todos Juntos or All Together. I invite you to present the prize, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to our Minister, Honorable Minister of Senegal. Please stay with us if you have the time. Now we're going to continue with this excellent ceremony, prize ceremony. Thank you very much. And now I give the floor to my colleague Priscilla. Priscilla, you have the floor.
We first have a word from our award winner, Andrea.
Difícil, es un poco difícil. Muy buenas tardes a todos.
Good evening,
everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you. As the minister previously said, our work is about recovering traditional ecological knowledge in indigenous areas in Guatemala, who typically get certified. We work with edible products. We're very proud today. I'm here, but I'm truly bringing the voice of many women who are not able to come. I'm here representing them. I'm very happy about that, being able to do that. And I truly would like to thank all the organizations that have supported us, CTCN, Women Gender Constitution, to each one of you. I'm very happy to receive this award. And again, you can see the pictures up here of all the women that make up our work. We're a small organization, but we have been working hard in the last years to grow, putting a lot of time, not only about nutrition and food security, but also on different topics, migration, land grabbing, or displacement. And I'd like to take advantage of this space now about what is happening to the Quechua peoples in Guatemala. There's a siege going on right now. They're not respecting their rights, and I would like to make that denounce right now and to ask the government of Guatemala to include as part of their gender agenda more women. We're women who can decide on the environment, and the environment is a woman. And without us, nothing good can be done fully about climate change. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The minister has to leave.
Okay. Unfortunately, our minister has to leave, but we are very happy that you stayed with us and you are able to present the award. Thank you very much for being a gender specialist. Let me give you gender specialist today.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Okay, so now I wish to call on our very partner, Ms. Kitty van de Heden, who is the Director General for International Cooperation for the Kingdom of the Netherlands, to present the next award.
Yoo-hoo.
Go.
Thank you so much. There's a relationship between climate change and gender equality. One is happening, the other not quite yet. You figure out which one. That's why this is so important. This became, I asked extra copies from Sasha, because my delegation, my minister, all of us want to go around just wearing this. This is what it is about. Now, we know that men and women are affected in very different ways by climate change. But to me, it's incredibly important that we don't position women as the victims. Because the strength of a woman is not measured by the impact that all her hardships in life have on her, but rather the strength of a woman is measured by the extent of her refusal to allow those hardships to dictate her and who she becomes. And that's what we are here to celebrate, the power of women. In my work, I'm the DG for Development Cooperation, so I basically manage our development cooperation programs around the world. Gender equality is absolutely crucial. As a matter of principle, because it's a basic human right, but it's also a precondition for any success on the Paris Agenda and the SDG Agenda. What did it say there? Women stop, the world stops. That's what this is about.
Wow.
So, to me, this is not just an incredibly important agenda. This is an agenda that we must pursue with more vigor, with more activism, with more money, and with more power to the women that make change happen on the ground to affect lives and livelihoods in real terms rather than what we often call the blast. So, it is my real honor and pleasure to present the mention of honor in the category non-technical solutions. I had the privilege of meeting her already. It's about a project that addresses the problems that arise in India, a country that I was privileged to spend 4 years of my life in one of the most pristine, most biodiverse areas in India, the Sundarbans mangroves, the largest mangroves in the world, a World Heritage Site. Cyclones, because of climate change, are increasing. They're more damaging, not just to the natural environment, but also to the lives and livelihoods of poor people, local indigenous communities that live there. This is a reforestation project, a farming project that not just protects and improves those mangroves, but it also strengthens, importantly, the position of local indigenous women. The project is outstanding in many ways, but let me just mention only 3, because otherwise I'd be here tomorrow. 1, it's indigenous women that plant mangroves and thereby contribute to saving our planet. It's organic farming and vermicomposting program that gives women the opportunity to earn their own income. We need power to the women, including economic power. And at the same time, this project provides food security for the local communities and builds community resilience by making sure that we also address the underlying drivers of female marginalization, of low literacy rates, of early child marriage, and all those other ways in which women are still oppressed. The success of this project lies in its approach. It's easy to replicate, it's based on local knowledge, its financial costs are limited, and it is driven by women. That's the only way we can get to scale fast enough to keep the world of 1.5 degrees within reach. So, I am very happy and honored to ask Shika Mitra from the organization, the All Women's Conference Calcutta, to come to the podium to receive the honor of award in the non-technical category, because you earn it and the women you work earned it.
Can you feel it? Getting stronger by the hour. Climate. Gender. Justice. Where woman stops, the world stops.
Thank you very much.
Correct word. Have cutting stamp.
I don't know what to say to WCF. On behalf of my organization, All India Women Conference, and the whole team behind this mangrove plantation and inland plantation in Hatishur village in Sundarban to mitigate the climate change, especially the women of Hatishur village associated with this project, I would like to express my heartiest thanks and gratitude to the organizer of this award ceremony. We are really honored with this recognition. It was in the year 1926, Margaret Cousin and Annie Besant, the Roe veteran Irish ladies, with some eminent women of India of the day, joined hands for the welfare of the distressed women in India. They believed that everyone, irrespective of the gender, should get equal opportunity and facility to have a healthy and productive life. All India Women Conference is Calcutta constituency, based in Kolkata, is one of the constituent branches affiliated with the main branch of AWC, New Delhi. In November 2018, we started our Gender into Urban Climate Initiative project. Under the project, we started our pilot project in Achintanagar village, Hatishur, Pathar Pratim block, South 24 Pargana, Sundarban. Sundarban is the contiguous mangrove forest and is designated by UNESCO World Heritage Site and is vulnerable to climate change. Frequent cyclones have destroyed the mangroves cover and is endangering the island and also indirectly the city of Kolkata, which is lying in the coastal area, which climatically protected by the Sundarban mangroves. This forest is among the most carbon-rich tropical forest. The project is strictly carried out by the indigenous women of the area, and women involved in the mangrove plantation were trained for sapling creation. Total 109 women from the village were divided for mangrove plantation, inland plantation, and organic farming. They are given training for preparing saplings for further plantation, making vermicompost, which they can use for their farms and also sell it in the market. They are taking leadership responsibilities also and extending their help to the others by giving training. The organic nutrition garden ensures nutritional food for the woman and her family, and in the long run can be a steady source of income. We hope this award will motivate us and to work more effectively in future. At present, we are able to cover a very, very small area of Sundarban. We believe that this recognition could bring worldwide support for continuation of this project, and we could cover more villages, more islands in Sundarban. Moreover, the mangroves plantation needs to be carried on every year to cover more area as the frequent increase of cyclone and super cyclones due to climate change. I'm therefore appealing to everyone to come forward and let us all collectively take the responsibility to protect the Sundarban, which is declared as World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Thank you.
Thank you.
When woman stops, the world stops.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Now I hand over to Sasha to introduce the next panelist.
Yes, we still have an award. And I have the great honor to ask Liz Ditchburn, the Director General Economy of the Scottish Government, to introduce our next award. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. For those of you who have travelled, it can't be said too often, welcome to Scotland. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Scottish Government. We've been proud to be able to support Women's Environment and Development Organisation for some years now. It's absolutely critical that we bring the voices of women into the room when we're discussing climate change, and particularly the voices of women from countries that are at most risk of exclusion, the least developed, and the small island developing states. But this today is not just about bringing the voices of women into the negotiations room, it's about the practical actions and the leadership that women are showing and can show, and the more we can support action by women, the more we will achieve our aims. As you all know, and as so many of the other speakers have said, climate justice and gender justice are absolutely interrelated. We will not achieve climate action without tackling gender equality, and we will not have climate justice without gender justice. And today is just a fantastic opportunity to celebrate the achievements of women across the world, to play their part and to show us what more we can do if we bring women and support and empower women to take the action that they can. So last but not least, in terms of categories, this is the category transformational solutions. And it's transformation that we're all looking for. So this is a fantastic category to be able to present. I'm particularly proud as well that this project that I'm going to talk to you about is about an organization that works across 3 countries, Argentina, Bolivia, and Paraguay. And for me, that's a real pleasure as well, because I had the pleasure and privilege of working in Bolivia for some years. So it's been great to see and read about an area of work that I once had some small part in being involved in. So this project, Defensores Ambientales, Defenders of the Environment, this is about a project which strengthens the power of women to act, to support and protect their environment across these 3 countries. And I think we'll hear more, but I think this is about the Chaco, the Gran Chaco, which is an incredible ecosystem and united as well by communities, indigenous and local communities. And people, as they have been going about this work of defending the environment, are facing real threats in terms of violence and have overcome incredible hardships to make the changes, the positive changes that they are making. So again, as Kitty was saying as well, we could talk about these projects for a long time, but I just want to highlight 3 things that the organizers have identified when they looked at this, why this particular program should win this award. So it's acting in a number of different ways. It brings women together to face the challenges that they have. It's created a network of over 1,200 defensores ambientales from all 3 countries to share their experiences, to learn from each other, and to act together in ways which are more powerful than if they act alone. Secondly, it's brought innovation and digital technology to this area of work, producing a mobile phone app which has enabled women to inform, connect, protect, and communicate with each other. But perhaps underpinned by all of this, the transformational power also comes from the Escuela Feminista, the feminist school that was established by the project, which is creating a space where people can strengthen their knowledge, their technical, their advocacy skills, their understanding of rights, and their ability to claim those rights. And this is about, as I understand it, building that capacity for the future. So, please, it gives me great pleasure. Let's make some noise and show your appreciation for the winner of the Transformational Solutions category. Please come to the stage, Ms. Lilian Gregorio from the organization Fundación Plurales for the Programa Defensores Ambientales.
Against the power.
Can you feel it? We're getting stronger by the hour. Climate. Gender. Justice.
And really, thank you for your words, because they were great. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say that I'm really moved by this, because we came from very distant lands and we've been working on this for many years. This isn't a program, a short-term program. Rather, we've been doing this for more than 8 years. So thank you thanks to these organizations that are here that make part of the panel, that have given us the funds and have accompanied us during different stages, and in different ways we've been able to consolidate a work strategy that we call it the Defenders of the Environment, that is to strengthen women of small organizations that work within the territory. And they fight against climate change and also against extractive industry that is really causing a lot of harm and is done so many things against us. There we have communication organization, finance, organizational coordination. These are small organizations that they develop, and we support them. And then we have a network to strengthen them and to give them a greater incidence. And so even I do not deserve this prize. It's really the organizations that have been working on this, the NGOs, the local NGOs, because they have international support, they are able to progress and carry out this strategy. But above all, for women, they are the ones that really give their body and the territory, their strength and their energy, and it's their cosmovision of our ancestors. It's the same thing. It's women's body. That's our territory. That's the defense of water and of land and of life itself, and it's really a loving management of land and water, and that we want to reproduce life in our territories. So honestly, we find so much wisdom and power within those women as we coordinate it and we empower it, and we think that this can have much impact if we allow them to take action. So at this COP, and especially we are also making a call to the governments so that they can understand that it's necessary to support these local strategies, because it's really using these local strategies that then we can generate the wisdom and the power that then we can carry out these activities. We all agree that there's no climate justice without gender justice. So we need to make greater ecological relationships, and feminism has been constructing this, that peers with sisters and love for nature. So then I'm so grateful. There's an infinite amount of great gratitude that I have to you for the support, and this motivates us to continue on to do this. It also, this recognition motivates us, and it's also motivating to know that there are already organizations that make up part of this really strong network. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to and thank you so much in the name of the organizations that we make up this advocacy network. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we're moving to the next segment of this award. May I now invite an incredible woman who has worked so tirelessly to bring a lot of these awardees here, and who has been working behind the scene to make sure that some of us are very comfortable while we're here. Bell, who is the coordinator, Gender and Climate at Women Engaged for a Common Future International, to come to the podium, please.
Thank you. So much emotion every year, this award winners ceremony. It's really wonderful. I want to now show you the publication that we are launching today with this award ceremony, to make sure that our award winners, but also all the nominees of these awards, of this prize, are being recognized. So in the publication, you will find not only all the award winners that you have celebrated today, but also for each category of the awards, 5 to 6 projects that really showcase how it is possible to make gender just climate action, or to ensure that actually our climate policies and our climate action really foster gender justice and really bring ambition through social co-benefits and through gender equality. So you have a lot of copies of this publication down here at the table. Please help yourself, take them, because they really are a great tool also for advocacy, as they bring so much illustration. In this publication, we also describe the mentoring program that we have put together with the CTCN, and that gives me the pleasure to welcome here at the podium Mrs. Carina Larsen, who will present the mentoring program. And so please take the publication, and thank you very much, and really thank you to all our high-level personalities who have come here to this ceremony. It's been really fantastic to organize this with you. And Carina, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. And actually, I have the pleasure to introduce the CTCN's director, Rose Malbazo, who just came back from the negotiations in time, so she's going to be able to explain a little bit more about our workshop together.
Karina, thank you very much. I get the privilege of stealing your spot. But Karina knows when we sit together that truly this for me is one of the most important and most favorite events that we attend at the COP. So I was determined to be here, even though the negotiations were, you know, crawling on. So first, thank you for the opportunity to stand here before you. As the Climate Technology Center and Network, we began collaborating with the Women and Gender Constituency a few years ago. And it was very clear to us that working together, we could raise the visibility of the excellent work that is coming from women all over the world. Because having come out of the negotiations, I can tell you it's very easy to lose women in these negotiations and to lose sight of the amazing work they're doing. So this, as I say, to me, is really important. It makes me feel good about the work we do because this is really what it is about. So for the Women and Gender Constituency and the CTCN, therefore, we believe that this event is not an end in itself, and so we always organize a two-day intensive upscaling workshop each year at the COP, where we bring together this network for training and collaboration on advocacy, finance, technology support, replication, and upscaling of the initiatives. So to Mama from India, in my culture, you would say Mama where I come from. We have seen from experience that the awardees or recipients from this event have gone on actually to upscale, to receive additional funding, and we make it our mission as part of mentoring and ongoing support and connecting of the awardees that this happens. So we are very grateful for the opportunity to have you here today. But while at the COP, you must have also noticed that you get to attend several important meetings, engage in advocacy, which is very important because, as I said, it's very easy for the women's voice and the actions they bring to be lost. So never undervalue or underestimate the role you play as advocates. You know, you represent the voices of the communities, the countries, and women everywhere from around the world. And following the COP, as I said, we take it upon ourselves to build individual and group mentoring throughout the year. It's a privilege, therefore, for me to be part of this effort and to see how, as winners, you have incrementally become very successful. I wish we had had a chance, for example, to get the first and second winners to share with you. You'd be amazed at the strides they've made. In fact, we know that 70% of all our winners have gone on to be very successful and secure additional funding for their initiatives. But this is not just about you and the CTCN and our generous partners presenting awards. We have learned too from you. You have made us better in the work we do on technology transfer. Technology is not gender neutral. Anba knows that. She sits on the CTCN advisory board, and we have done tremendous work with women and the gender constituency to make sure that technology transfer does not leave women behind, or it includes women and integrates gender in its fullest sense. And so we are very proud of that work. So we also do learn. We understand the types of challenges that women face, the initiatives that actually bring change, that are transformation at community level, and we integrate this learning in the services we provide at the CTCN. I would like to end now by thanking my colleagues at the CTCN. Karina really is in Africa we say it takes a village, but every village has a chief. She is the chief when it comes to the work we do on gender. I would be remiss, she's my partner in crime. It's absolutely enjoyable to do this with her. But I also want to thank our partners in the Women and Gender Constituency and the vast networks you represent. And lastly, I'd like to thank the European Union. We do this every year. As I said, it's my favorite event coming out of hardcore negotiations. It's nice to hear the sound of women singing and dancing. In Africa, I would actually be playing drums as well. So for me, I'm just right at home. But this is very important. It's significant. It makes a difference. And we are absolutely grateful to the European Union for the support, generally to the activities of the CTCN, but for the work we do with women and gender. And I look very much forward to welcoming our newest winners to the workshops and this dynamic network of women and gender climate champions. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Would you mind joining us for the last minutes of the event? We have heard that we have to finish our session a bit earlier than we thought. And we have 4 short remarks still from previous award winners on the path to a just transition. If you don't mind staying with us for a few more minutes, till 6 o'clock, I would like to give the floor 2 minutes each to 4 of the panelists. We will call them onto the podium one after another. Yep. Okay. Sure, we can do that. But let's first ask, just for you to know, we have in the room, I think, Karina Barrera, who will speak 2 minutes about the work they're doing on a gender action plan. We have Annemarie Abagu, who will talk about their gender action plan. We have Fatou Ndoye, and we have Kathleen Hughes. So please be ready for a very short presentation of how you have been moving forward based on your experiences, and then we will close and we'll ask everybody to come and join us on the podium for a final photo, if that's okay with you. And Anne just asked me to tell you that there are many previous award winners, not just Fatou who will join us here, but many others who are with us. So maybe we can just ask those who have been award winners in the previous years to also stand up, and you are part of this mentoring program. Just say hello to us so we know who you are and where you are, and we can come and see you later. Yeah, okay, wonderful. Yeah. All right. So, dear Fatou, are you here? Can you give us a 2-minute summary of how you are moving forward with your work? And you can take the podium, please. Yes. Fatou has been an award winner in 2016. Fatou Ndoye is from ENDA Graf. ENDA Graf is an amazing women's-led organization working in Senegal, in the Sine Saloum Delta with the mangroves, and with rural women. And she has been asked to work with CTCN and others on a sustainability study or a feasibility study. Fatou, the floor is yours. Yes. Yeah.
Merci, Sacha. Bonjour tout le monde, et très heureuse encore d'être parmi vous.
Hello all. I'm going to present a quick summary of the work that we did with the support of CTCN, the entity designated to Senegal. I thank you again. We went from the assessment that Africa, like the other southern countries, women are at the heart of the energy sector. They are the ones who make fire, who collect firewood, who go fetch water, etc. This requires enormous physical strain and a loss of time, and for certain girls, the loss of scholarly pursuit, and are now living in poverty. Without energy, production systems cannot take place, because in this work, women not only cannot produce and have activities, engage in activities, but they also cannot take place in decision-making because they have no production. So it's for this reason that we began a assessment of to the creation of a field of solar equipment for the area of Senegal to allow small women businesses to engage in agriculture. In a general way, this study had the global objective of putting in place these programs to contribute to the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Today, the results that we brought about in Senegal were based on solar production units, and we saw that the solar oven was very, very effective in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This also showed us that there are enormously a lot of costs associated with this gear. For example, the weight, which gets in the way of women being able to manage these tools. The other difficulty is linked to the pricing of this gear for solar cookers, and women cannot access them. And finally, women have a limitation of physical space to install this equipment, and also lack of understanding of how to install them. Once we finished this study on solar energy, we saw that there was a lot of gear in the market, but the payments are not able to access because of these obstacles. So, seeing that we wanted to put in place a national plan for solar power, we saw, according to the study, that we did not have to create that field, but rather facilitate, accompany the women in their access to solar power tools. And we must develop a national strategy to allow women to use these tools and access financial resources in order to pay and to allow companies to give this gear at a reasonable price for these women, and finally to involve banks in order that they favor the access to these solar ovens. Thank you very much. I apologize for the length of my presentation.
We're indeed getting to the end of this session, and so we need to make it very quickly. I now call on Anne-Marie Abagu, who is the Executive Director of Women Environmental Program, Nigeria, but also Africa, to come and make her 2 minutes presentation. Please, 2 minutes.
Anne-Marie, yeah! Anne-Marie went with us to the wonderful march with 250,000 people, but she got a little nick in her foot, so we have to be careful with her foot when she goes up and down the stairs.
Thank you so much. Since I just have 2 minutes, I'll just cut it short. With the support of Women Engaged for Common Future, British High Commission, UNDP, both ends, I don't think I got all the donors yet, but we were able to launch a National Action Plan on Gender and Climate Change. That was launched this year in March. Thank you. So the Gender Action Plan, with the support of the Ministry of Environment, the Federal Ministry of Environment, and we captured the strategies that will be used to implement gender into the action plan on the Paris Agreement and the NDCs. So far, we have been able to sensitize stakeholders so far in Nigeria, and now we're at the process of stepping it down at the state level. So we are getting the states, governments to commit and tell us what they would do to make sure that the action plan to make sure that gender is being mainstreamed at the state level. Yes, so that's what we're doing so far. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. And we are very honored to have as a last speaker, Karina Barrera, who is the Undersecretary of the Ministry of Environment from Ecuador. And they have been working on a similar incredible national action plan. The floor is yours.
Thank you. My 2 minutes. It's a pleasure to meet you, everybody. Thank you for the invitation and having me here. In Ecuador, since the vision of the public policy, it's important to know that the NDC is a priority. So for us, we have included the mainstream gender approach in all of our plans: energy, change of use of land, agriculture, for example. This is part of our NDC. But when we work in this, we discovered some different realities. For example, that in finance, for example, that women save more money than men. For example, they save in the banks more or less 50% of the amount of the banks, but they just can access to the loans just to the 30% because they are not property of the land. They work all together, they don't have access to the land. And like these realities, we could see more things different it could help us to understand that we have to work in the projects, because the projects, the different kind of projects, are the base. How can we work in the territories? So we have developed a toolbox that with a proposal that the financial mechanism could be included in all of our programs. So we now can know how much money is included in the financial proposal of the one project. So this is very important for us, and we worked in the gender plan. We are working now in this. We are finished and we are going to launch it on December. So this is another challenge, because we need now our main challenge is to implement this plan. We have worked in an inclusive way, but everyone has some expectations about that. So this is our reality now, but I'd like to share this different point of view and some things that we have to address in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Karina Barrera. And I have seen the video you have produced. And Karina, we will share it with all the participants here, because it's an amazing video for all of us to use when we try to scale up these local gender-just climate solution projects. And with this, Priscilla, I think we're coming to the end of our session.
Yes, exactly. So we'd like to invite each and every one of you to come to the podium so that we can have a photo. But before then, we want to take this opportunity to thank our special guest, the minister who is not here, the director from the International Corporation, the Kingdom of Netherlands, the CTCN director. We thank you very much, Rose and Karina. And we thank you, our sister from Ecuador, and the UN
from Scotland.
Under Secretary General.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much
for the cooperation that we have received. We are indeed grateful. Please, can we give a shout to everybody? Woo!